I never heard of such a stupid program as this in all my life. Well, I'm sorry, but we're just a station. You had to complain to the producer. The producer has a responsibility. Oh.
This program contains language that some listeners may find offensive. Discretion is advised. Iconostar Productions, in cooperation with Actors for Change, presents...
I'm tall as a mountain, and my hopes can reach to the sky. And my strength is my desire, and my dreams can help me fly. And the twistings of each road I'm on make me open up my eyes. Joy and sorrow are awaiting me at each turn as they arise.
Each Turn by Bill Olson. Starring John Townsend as Jeff Adams. Episode 7, Affirmative Protection.
Jeff Adams? Yeah, this is Levi. I'm calling to find out how I did in the audition. You're casting me outright? That's cool. You want me to play Lester James? You know, Lester James is really boring. I was hoping to play Mr. Gritch. Yeah, I know Lester James is the lead, but I'd rather play a smaller role that I can sink my teeth into. Mr. Gritch has a lot of depth, a lot more than most writers will give a villain. Your director does the casting? Doesn't want you treading on his territory, huh? Uh-huh. His name's Gordon Stewart. And what's his number? Uh-huh. Thanks, Jeff. Bye. Hey, listen, they cast me for the lead.
Great, honey. You know, I don't mind you acting for a hobby, but you have to be a family man, too. I want you to be the father of my child. You can't do that if you're living for something else.
I made $200 last month.
Wow.
It doesn't have to be too much. It just has to be a part-time job. I'd have made only $200 from another part-time job anyway.
But the 3 months before that, you didn't make a cent. For one play, you even had to pay $20 to be in it.
But I'm going in the right direction, Lissa. I don't think I should have to give it up.
I don't want you to give it up, Levi, honey. I just don't want you to do it all the time, even if you make a fortune at it. I want you home with me. You know why?
Why?
Because I love you.
Uh-huh, I'll bet.
Come here.
Hey, Gordon, I got a call from Levi. He wants to play Mr. Gritch.
I wanted him to play the hero, Jeff.
He said the hero was too boring. Maybe I should rewrite the character. Well?
I'm thinking. It's a new experience.
What role are you giving Deke?
Deke, that little twerp. He's dropping out because he might get a paid role in a road show.
So, both roles are open? Mr. Gritch and Lester James?
Yeah, I'll think about this, Jeff. I know Levi'd do good in both.
You mean in each?
I think I speak pretty good English for it not being my native language.
What is your native language?
I really don't want to talk about it.
Well, you always talk about being from another country, but you never tell which one.
I'm just trying to make America my home. Sometimes we have to put the past behind us. It's nothing more than that.
Mom, Dad.
Hi, dear.
Hi, Jeff.
I wish you'd have told me you were coming. I would have cleaned my apartment.
Oh, for Christ's sake, look at this place.
This is where my baby is living?
It's really not as bad as it seems.
Oh, Jeff, are you out of your mind? You've got wallpaper peeling, dirty walls, plaster holes. Why, look at here. You can see inside the wall.
Oh, Jeff, you're going to have to move from here.
Easier said than done.
Why?
Apartments are too expensive in the Twin Cities.
Well, I'd rather give you the money to get a decent place than have you
Damn
living...
it, Rachel. You just keep treating him like a child. He's a grown man who has to learn to accept some adult responsibility.
But he earns so little.
Jeff, you are moving your ass out of this dump. And if your damn restaurant job won't pay for it, you can get a real job.
But I have to work part-time to have the time to do my writing.
You're supposed to do that kind of writing in your spare time, Jeff. But what you're doing is working in your spare time. And if you just...
Get yourself a full-time job, damn it. I'm not standing for any more of this dinking around.
I'm not the one complaining about my humble beginnings, but I'd like to have a chance to make something of myself.
Then forget about this playwriting crap and go to law school. It's the lawyers who control the world. Everyone else is a goddamn peon.
What do you mean you want to play the villain?
It's a fun part, Lissa.
Fun? Do you have any idea what this is about?
Yeah, it's about my acting career.
It's about African Americans getting respect.
Respect can come by doing good acting.
Nobody knows what acting is, Levi. All they see is a black villain.
It's a complex character and a good story of 18th century issues.
18th century. What is he, a slave?
No, a businessman.
A black businessman in 18th century America. You want to play a white man.
You're white, Lissa.
You know better than to get on that. My grandfather is darker than you.
Yeah, all right.
You know what it's like to be African American, Levi, but I grew up where black skin only meant grandpa. I could never understand why people who looked like me would hurt him. But they did, and they will today and tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to build a career.
You'd better think about your community, Levi.
Hello?
Hi, Jeff. It's your mother.
Hi, Mom. You two get settled in the hotel okay?
We're fine.
Don't you get bored at those obstetrics conferences of Dad's?
No, I usually go off and meet my journalist colleagues. And the Twin Cities is a good place for me to meet new people, gain new experiences, and keep myself enriched so I always have something to write about.
When I moved to St. Paul, it was so new and exciting. Everything I saw led to a poem or an essay or something. Now it's getting old.
Oh, you've fallen into a rut.
More like a canyon. I keep trying to crawl out, but the walls are too high and steep. I keep thinking the same old thoughts. It's like I'm bored to be with myself. It's horrible.
You need to put more variety in your life.
Yeah.
Kristen Davis is starting a mentorship program for young writers. I've signed you up for it.
What? You mean the Kristen Davis?
The very same.
He's one of the greatest writers of modern times.
That's what they say.
He'll laugh at me. I can't. I just can't do this.
Jeff, you're going to do this.
But Kristen Davis, Mom, I'm just a burned-out rookie. I haven't done a thing.
But you have, Jeff. You've committed yourself. You're living in dire poverty so you can become a writer and a filmmaker. If you're going to sacrifice that much, you'd better be willing to face Kristen Davis and say, yes, I want to be a writer. Please help me do so.
But Kristen Davis...
You'll have to meet with him tomorrow at 7 p.m.
But, Mom...
No buts. You'll be there.
African Americans have always been told what to do and where to go.
This has nothing to do with the past.
No, it has to do with the present, Gordon, and the present is a living tradition.
I'm not sending you to the back of the bus, Levi. I'd like you to go to the front of the bus.
Hey, man, civil rights was not about having to sit at the front of the bus. It was about sitting where we want, regardless of our color.
But don't you see? If you play Mr. Gritch, all hell will break loose. The white racists will say, see, that's what they're like. And African Americans will call me a racist for casting you as a villain. And they'll chastise you for making your people look bad.
You're right, some will.
Yeah.
Is every white person a white supremacist?
Well, no, but...
And not every African American will look at this role badly. We're all different. We're each individuals.
I'm just really afraid of what's going to happen.
You're afraid your house is going to get bombed.
It's not just violent retaliation I'm worried
You have
about.
every African American pegged as a violent militant.
Okay, I see your point. But this is more complicated than the question of my
Don't tell
own
me
race.
I'm a shallow, narrow-minded black man.
I'm not, Levi.
I think you are. I know this is a complicated issue. I heard what you said about whites who are going to feel justified if they see me play Mr. Gritch. And it's not just whites either. It's Asians, Hispanics, Native Americans. Hate's not an exclusive club that only whites can join. And that's for African Americans who will call you names and me names. Yeah, I know some of them as well. We fought long and hard for a place at the table, and we're still not getting our dinner. But don't you see? I'm an artist. I want to act. I love to act. I may lose my woman because of it. If you're telling me I have to play Black Ozzie Nelsons all my life, then what's the point?
I'm sorry, Levi, but I often see my own people maligned in movies, and maybe I just can't get past that.
That's a sorry statement from a white man.
Well, I don't mean white men when I talk about my people. I'm talking about a completely different group.
What group?
I'd rather not get into it.
Maybe you should just come out of the closet, Gordon. What are you? A queer? An alien from space? You're probably a racist.
Well, whatever I am, I'm in the closet not to protect myself, but to protect others.
We're all in the closet for some reason. I've been in the closet as an actor who loves theater more than my woman. I think I'm learning now that I can no longer hide it. And if I come out jeopardizing my marriage, it'll mean nothing if I have to be Ozzie Nelson.
Sounded like a great debate, Gordon. I wish I were there.
You were there in spirit. Jeff, if you came out of the closet, what would you be?
Who says I'm in the closet?
Levi says we're all in the closet.
Well, if I answer your question, I'd have to come out, and that's a hard thing to do.
You can trust me.
So you couldn't convince Levi to play the hero?
No, he's really determined to play Mr. Gritch.
I'm afraid of the same things you are, but if he really wants the role, maybe you should give it to him.
I can't do that. I just can't.
It's just a public access show, Gordon. Nobody's probably going to see it anyway.
But what if someone does?
Then they'll learn about history, enjoy the show, and that will be that. We're not going to get bombed. I mean, that's a really racist attitude.
I know. But that's not what really bothers me.
So what does?
Pal, I can't help but see Levi as a mere sellout. He's an actor. He has a chance to show a positive image that'll change the way people look at African Americans. He can be part of a movement to change attitudes. Like, for example, so that people don't think a large black guy is scary looking, and so they don't fear getting knifed or bombed. But he's going to throw it all away for a little histrionic masturbation.
And just who are you to say he's a sellout? You're white. We're white. Maybe it's we who are racist by expecting him to help his people the way we think he should. Maybe he's right about whites telling him where to go and what to do. Maybe we still see them as slaves, only now we see them as slaves to civil rights idealism.
I don't know. I can't relate to that, Jeff. I'm not a white American. I can only look at it from the point of view of an outsider. See, my people have been maligned by movies, so I know how that feels.
Which movies?
Well, Alien, for one.
God. Gordon, what race are you anyway?
That's beside the point.
Oh, hi, Dad. Where's Mom?
She's going to meet us downtown. Aren't you ready yet?
I got a little behind. It'll take just a minute to change.
What's so important in your life that you can't be ready to go out to dinner with your parents?
I'm doing a film and had to meet with my director and a prospective actor.
Oh.
I wrote the script. A lot of people really like it.
Well, a lot of people aren't paying you money so you can make a living. If you wanted to be a writer so bad, why didn't you study journalism like your mother?
It just doesn't interest me.
That's the lamest damn excuse I've ever heard. You think a job has to be fun every minute?
Yeah, you have it pretty easy. You can just look down on everyone else.
I worked my ass off in medical school so I could support a family.
You worked your ass off in medical school so you could look up women's skirts.
You little son of a bitch. Come here.
No.
You're smart enough to know you're not so big I can't beat your ass.
You might find that's not the case, Dad.
Well, we'll just see, you little wimp.
Whether or not I'm a wimp is irrelevant.
Don't use that word. Irrelevant. Makes you sound like some damnable lawyer.
I just don't want to...
Don't want to what? To get beat up?
I don't want to hurt you, Dad. I'm sorry about what I said. I respect you. But why are we fighting? I mean, really, why? Dad? 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 Tell me what's going on.
If you tell your mother, if you tell anyone, I swear I'll cut you off.
I learned confidentiality studying psychology.
Psychology? There you go. You can use some psychology on your old man. I went into obstetrics to bring life into this world. That's more important to me than anything. I could never even see myself retiring. Now I fear I'll have to. Don't you dare tell your mother, or anybody. But I'm being sued for malpractice.
Wow.
My insurance rates are so high, I just can't continue anymore.
It's all falling into place now. Your hatred of lawyers, of striving for dreams?
Everything's falling into place but me. I can't hide this much longer. Your mother's a journalist. She'll find out soon enough. I never wanted to bring disgrace onto this family. God damn, I feel so ashamed.
The dumbass producer that wrote this script had the damnedest problems with it. But he had an ego the size of his writing talents. I'm talking small as a woodpecker's penis. So he was willing to bring it to some real talent to save his reputation. If you want to be a writer, my friend, you have to do 3 things. Learn to work your ass off, to accept the middle finger, and to start drinking. Here's some brandy.
I don't drink, sir.
Another damnable teetotaler, huh?
Yeah, actually, I resent being called that. I don't drink tea either. I prefer natural, non-carbonated water.
If you won't drink liquor, you won't be a writer. Decide.
I won't drink alcohol no matter what.
I see. All right, then. Here, catch this pen. Oh, he catches it with both hands. You right-handed or left-handed? Don't you know?
I'm right-handed, sir. Why?
Must everything have a reason for you?
No.
Why not? Aren't you curious? You can't be a good writer if you're not curious. Do you want to know why I asked you?
About my right hand?
Of course, about your right hand.
Sure.
Then why'd you say no when I asked if everything must have a reason for you?
I guess I was confused.
You said no because I frightened you. Tell me what just happened. So you're afraid to talk. Lil charlatan's afraid to communicate, and he wants to be a writer. What the hell are you going to do? Send blank pages to Simon & Schuster? They won't buy blank pages, my friend. They won't write your stories for you. They won't tie your shoelaces, and they won't kiss your ass. Here, Mr. Writer, take this legal pad and write down what just happened. If you want to piss and moan about me, do so. If you want to say I'm a dirty, rotten son of a bitch, then do that too. But if I get this paper back and find it blank or filled with notes, I'm going to grab you by the scuff of your neck and toss you through that door like a fart through a wind tunnel.
What's wrong with notes?
If you want to write notes, go waste your time sitting in a class with some damnable university professor. I'll return momentarily.
I looked at the tablet. Did he want every sheet filled with glaring prose? I became a little sweaty, but I began to write what I'm telling you now. And I suddenly felt triumphant, because I knew that I was here, that it was real, and that I might actually become a successful writer one day. I was in the drawing room of the great novelist and playwright Kristen Davis. He was returning. I had only completed 2 sentences, so a wondrous fear came over me, but I knew he hadn't been gone long enough to let me write very productively. Then it dawned on me. He wanted to frighten me. I felt a sudden thrill with the power of this knowledge, and I felt less frightened. But I continued to look frightened. Now he would play into my plan. I was getting a grasp on this character, Kristen Davis. I was certain I had the upper hand and could manipulate him to my satisfaction.
Have you started writing?
Yes, sir.
Good. I have just announced your presence to Kristen Davis, and he'll be along shortly.
After about 15 minutes of writing, I heard another person approach the room. I was filled with a fear that almost caused me to run out. The brief sense that I had control had long since vanished. I was now falling in a dark abyss. Something, it's true, would break my fall, but what? As the doorknob turned, I quickly wrote about my current fear and...
I'm Kristen Davis.
You? You're not serious.
Oh, actually, I am. I've been writing under the name Kristen Davis for 22 years.
My mom is Kristen Davis? And what about this house? Don't tell me you have a whole other life.
This house belongs to another author who works with my publisher. That Butler is an actor friend. You should get to know him, Jeff. He'll do great work in your films.
My mom is Kristen Davis. Does anyone else in the family know about you?
Oh, if it got out who I was, we wouldn't be just a family anymore, Jeff. We'd be a celebrity family. Your father would constantly reevaluate himself, wondering whether or not he was good enough. Judy and you would try to work to meet my success. I won the Pulitzer Prize. Oh, I'm not saying you kids won't accomplish more, but I was put under a lot of stress to succeed when I was a child, and that's a very hard thing to live with. Or live up to. And then there's the publicity. This is always a burden for celebrity families. I needed to protect you from all these things.
Then why are you coming out of the closet now, Mom?
I'm only coming out to you, and I hope you'll keep my secret. You see, writing and literature are very important to me. It's an interest no one in the family has ever shared until you decided to become a writer. It was easy to hide my secret life from the rest of the family, but with you, it's a little different. I thought I might be able to help you, and that we might become closer.
That's really great. My mom is Kristen Davis. Huh. What was all that brandy BS about?
Oh, I couldn't resist. Knowing how much against drinking you are, I wanted to see if anything would make you take a drink. Now, let me read what you just wrote, and after that, I'd like to give you some more writing assignments.
Well, Jeff, I've decided to cast Levi as Mr. Gritch.
You'll be happy to hear that. What changed your mind?
It was when he talked about how important acting was to him, that he was risking even his marriage for it. He's been totally in the closet about it until now, but I'm pretty sure he's going to tell his wife that acting is more important to him than she is. So I felt I had to make the sacrifice worth it to him.
You had asked me what I'd be if I came out of the closet. I can tell you now, Gordon.
Okay.
I didn't really move out of the house and come to the Twin Cities to become a writer and a filmmaker.
No, it was to get a management job so you could pay for grad school at USC Film School.
No, that was just an excuse. I really moved out because there was too much of an atmosphere of hate and oppression in my family. Everyone was on my back, trying to pull me in all these different directions, never interested in what I wanted. It was getting very difficult for me, especially regarding my dad and my sister. Well, sometimes I have a real hard time dealing with my anger, and I was afraid I would lose control and kill someone.
Oh, come on.
I'm serious, Gordon. I had to move out to protect them from me.
I've never seen you quite that angry.
Your girlfriend, Monica, has, but since I moved out, there's a lot less stress in my life. I feel like I survived a war. I can't explain how good life is now.
I'm really glad to hear that, Jeff.
Thanks. So, Gordon, what would you be if you came out of the closet?
Pal, I mean this sincerely. I will never, ever tell you.
Even if I tickle you?
Don't tickle me.
I'm going to tickle you, Gordon.
No, get away from me. No, no, no.
You're going to tell me?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Sucker.
Hey, come back here.
Not for all the lemonade in suburbia.
Each turn was produced, written, and directed by Bill Olson. The associate producer was John Townsend.
Episode 7, Affirmative Protection, starred John Townsend as Jeff Adams, Jay Blake as Gordon, Jimmy Russell as Levi, Deirdre Kay as Jeff's mom, Mike Cruckton as Jeff's dad, Claire McRae as Lissa, and Mel Jackson.
The music was by John Wright. The theme was by Bill Olson and John Wright, and was sung by Robert Lilligren.
The assistant director was Jay Blake.
Production assistance was by Chris Freeman. My name is Siobhan Parnicky.
And my name is Robert Lilligren. The producers wish to thank CTV, Roseville, and Cable Access St. Paul, both in Minnesota. All persons and situations in this radio drama are fictitious. Any similarities to actual persons, living or dead, is strictly coincidental.
Each turn is copyrighted 1996 by Bill Olson.